Welcome. Happy Monday evening. I have been home for about a half hour now and I changed into comfy clothes, as you can see, and I've just been chilling on the bed with Yingling, giving her some attention since I was gone at work all day today. It was a long day, lots of meetings, and you might be asking yourself, but Rachel, I thought you only worked one day in the office and that day was Wednesday and you said today is Monday. Well, surprise, because what I haven't told you about 2026 yet is that there has been additional return to office mandates at my job. So now the 1 day a week, which was part of the whole reason why I took this job to begin with, is now 2 days a week, and it's Monday and Wednesday. If you are a knowledge worker or primarily work on a computer, I believe that having the choice to be hybrid or having the choice to be remote or being completely in office is the correct thing to do. Like, that's just my philosophy. And I personally prefer to work remotely because I have found that I am so much more productive that way. And my outputs are greater because I'm in my own environment. I'm comfortable. I don't have distractions. I have no noise. I don't have to dress up to go to work. I can take a break and go outside and get fresh air, and it takes less time. So for me, that's just what works. It's very disappointing to have more return to office. And initially they said we might have 3 days. Now they're kind of dialing back on that. So it's still up in the air. And sometimes the day that we go in can change if there's a town hall meeting. Like this Wednesday, I'm actually not going into work because we're supposed to be going in on Thursday for a big multi-department town hall, like State of the Union thing. So sometimes it can even change depending on what activities are going on. So lots of change. And in the last work-life diaries, I mentioned that my manager was resigning and they didn't tell us what we were going to do yet. Today was the first day without my manager, the one that hired me. So what they ended up doing was moving us under another manager, and they actually split my team up. So one of my coworkers is no longer on the same team as me, but the new hire is on my team because we primarily do the same job function. Some loss of flexibility as far as my start time and lunchtime and things like that. It's just a lot of change, and I do like change. A lot of good things have come out of my life because of change, but right now I'm really in a period of my life professionally as well as personally where I need some stability. There's a lot of thoughts, a lot of what ifs, a lot of contemplation going on in my head. For the rest of the night, I am going to wash dishes, and I think I'm going to cook dinner tonight and then just chill out. Normally I do not cook on work nights, especially Mondays, because I meal prep for the week as part of my Sunday reset, but I was just not up to doing a ton of cooking on Sunday, so I moved some of it over to Monday night after work. So tonight I'm making sea bass with potatoes and green beans. Then I'm making a dessert for the week. I'm making the almond flour brownie mix from Simple Mills. It's one of my favorite easy desserts to make, and I always have a box of this in my cabinet. I'm also testing a new way to make potatoes by boiling them in cornstarch and salt water, then letting them cool and tossing them in a bit more cornstarch, seasonings, and olive oil to make them crispy. It turned out okay, but not as crispy as I expected, so I'll have to keep testing this recipe. Good morning, everybody. So I'm taking my first break. I'm gonna get my vitamins, my allergy medicine, and then I'm gonna brush my teeth. So I'm not a huge supplement person. I used to take a lot more supplements and I really cut back. So right now I'm taking biotin for hair and nails. And then I'm taking quercetin, bromelain, stinging nettle, and vitamin C to try to help with my allergies. I stopped taking this for a really long time, so I'm going to try to start taking it again to see if it helps. And then I'm taking Claritin to try to help with my allergies and sinuses. I don't always take Claritin every day. I take it kind of as needed. I've had all the over-the-counter allergy medicines. I've even had prescription allergy meds, and none of them really seem to do that much. It helps a little bit, but it never gets rid of the allergies or the chronic sinuses. So we just do our best with what we have. And now we're gonna brush our teeth. I already had lunch because I had a leftover cold wrap that I made to take to work yesterday, because even though they took us out to lunch as new team members, even though we're in the same department, I never got the invite. So I kind of found out when I showed up that we were doing new team things. So I decided I was just going to eat yesterday's lunch today, which worked out really well because I had to scoop out my homemade chicken broth and ladle it into mason jars that's sitting on the table, and that's cooling down so I can put it in the fridge. So I got that task out of the way, and now I'm just probably going to get something to drink, maybe eat some blueberries. I have like a tiny bit of iced tea left, so I'm gonna drink that. I'm doing my best to make the most of today, but honestly, I just feel definitely in fight or flight mode. It's taking me a long time to do my project today, which is an update of an older letter that I developed 6 months ago, but it's really complex. It's probably one of the most complex letters that I ever built. It has a lot of different pieces, a lot of logic, so it's taking a lot longer. And because I'm already in not a great mental state of mind and already feeling stressed and tired this week and just loathing having to work at all, it's really hard for me to focus in and just not do a good job with it, but just to do it. Like, I'm not at my peak. I'm trying to think how to explain this. I can't perform at my peak, so it's taking me a really long time to do stuff. So I had to change my schedule to make more time. And I think I'm going to push back another project that I had that I've been waiting around to get deliverables on. Like, it's taken months for them to get stuff to me, so I think I might push that back just so I can focus on this. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make it work, knowing that I can't do peak performance Rachel work right now. To be honest, I can probably only give maybe like 50% right now, which is frustrating, especially since I'm on a new team with a new manager. And so I don't know, it's almost like there's that expectation of performance. It's like really starting all over again, and I do want to talk about it more maybe when I'm not feeling as rushed. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I have to wash dishes. I really definitely need to take a moment and sit down and like zone out and close my eyes and maybe do some deep breathing after I drink this and eat some blueberries. So I'm going to do that. I probably won't check in with you till later today. I might not even talk depending on my mood and how I'm feeling. I might not check in until tomorrow, so we'll see. Good morning. We're halfway through the week, and I'm just getting ready for work. Today's the normal. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure my hair gets curly and does what I wanted to do because it's still so wet. Today is Wednesday, which is normally the day I go in the office, but I'm not in the office today because I have to go in tomorrow because there's a big meeting. But I do have other on-camera meetings today, so I wanted to put some earrings in. So I'm going to put these gold hoops in because sometimes when I'm on meetings, I just like to look a little extra special. And even some days that I work from home, I'll put on a little bit of jewelry because it just makes me feel more put together. But most of the time, I just don't care because I'm not on camera. But the new manager is a camera person. So a lot of her meetings, she turns her camera on, which, whatever. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that for every single meeting. I think it depends on the type of meeting. And then I'm going to wear this cardigan because it's a little bit better than just like these, which I've had forever and are kind of all ripped up from the cats. And I'm going to put on some socks. And these are strawberry socks. So cute. But it's getting warmer out. Yesterday it was 54 degrees and all that 20 inches of snow that we got started melting. And I did go outside to just stand on my porch and watch all the water drip everywhere. I mean, we still have big snow piles, so it is going to take a long time for those to melt. But I think we're out of that really nasty cold because for 2 weeks it was like -20, -10. We even got more snow on top of the 20 inches that we got a couple weeks ago when I filmed my last video. It was really like a brutal 3 weeks. But the next 10 days are looking at 30, 40s. So I think since it's already about to be in the middle of February. Ooh, holy crap. I think we're out of the brutal winter. We will get another cold snap, I'm sure, but I don't think we're going to get 2-3 weeks of negative whatever or 0 or a 5-degree Fahrenheit temperature. Cool. So this is the fit for today. Yay. And I have to go get my Apple Watch. I am feeling really tired. I've been trying to wake up earlier because I have to go in the office early per my manager's request. I normally start at 9, and I was asked if I would start earlier, and I said no, politely, of course, because that's been my start time. It was the whole point of me taking this job, was to be able to have a flexible start time. Sorry, I know it's really dark in here, but the compromise was that on work in office days, which are now 2 days a week, I would try to be there no later than 8:30, but preferably 8, which didn't actually happen on Monday because it was so cold that all the trolleys were delayed, so I ended up getting there at 8:40 because I stood outside in the cold for 25 minutes. So I definitely tried to get there on time, but sometimes things just happen, but it wasn't a big deal. I'm exempt, so I don't clock in and I don't have hours. So exempt is you get paid for the work you do, not the hours that you clock in, which is why I try to work at a flexible team, and that's part of the reason why I accepted the position. Was one work from home day, flexible start hours, and as I mentioned, the flexibility is lessening, which is part of the reason why I'm feeling stressed and confused about what I want to do and what options I might have. So we'll see. I'm just kind of seeing how it plays out. I'm trying to give you a little bit more detail about the situation. So the new manager is not someone I've never met before. We actually just got moved to a team in our department, and our department's small. There's only 20 people. So it wasn't like I didn't know all those people anyway. I've known them for a long time, have had many conversations with them, but they basically treated us like brand new hires. So they did a whole onboarding thing on Monday, like an icebreaker, talked more about how their team works, and then they took us out to lunch. And now it's really just getting into their team meetings. They have a lot more team meetings than my manager did, which is nice, but also takes away from my time to get my work done. And I'm kind of more of a let's have less meetings, or let's not have a meeting unless it's absolutely necessary, because I would rather get my work done and just that be it. Like, I don't want to have constant meetings all the time for no reason if there's no ROI on it, which is probably why I prefer to work remotely, because I feel like there's less socializing when you work from home, so you can focus and get more things done, which I like. So to me, I've always traded the one in office day as a day where I did the easiest stuff. The stuff that I knew that I didn't need to have a lot of energy, because it was just everybody yapping and it was really hard for me to focus. So I've always treated those in office days as like easy days to spend more time collaborating with my team and my department and socializing. So now having the extra day, it's just figuring out how I'm going to get work done and how I can manage my energy levels in an environment that, quite frankly, makes me feel like crap. Every time I go into the office, it's so dry, the lights are terrible, there's so much noise, the chairs are uncomfortable, the desks are uncomfortable. Most of the time that I go in there, I end up feeling sick. I end up getting a migraine. It bothers my sinuses. It dries out my sinuses. So I feel miserable. And I'm really trying to have an open mind. And if you're not new to the channel, my big thing is trying to see the positive and all the negative. Even when I was laid off, I was like, okay, well, this sucks, but here's why this is good for me. And I'm trying to do that now while I'm in this whole like burnout, dysregulated nervous system thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I've found it really, really hard to stay positive and like see opportunity in how much my position has changed and how much my team has changed, because there's been a lot of turnover. We've seen 2 people on my small team leave since I started, including my manager, and I've seen other people leave, and it's, I don't know, there's just like a lot of things changing, and I like change, and I think change can be good. But sometimes change can be good, but sometimes the change doesn't line up with what season you're in your life, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. So it's making me very stressed. Also, I did mention that I was the most senior person that knew how to do my job, and they did ask me if I wanted to be a team lead, which is like the first level of management, and I declined, because I do not want to be a manager, and I told them that. I specifically said I have no interest in being a manager. I think that I can lead without having that title. I don't want the responsibilities of being a manager, and I just don't want to do it. I really just want to grow as a person and not have to deal with all that, which is fine. So they're going to backfill my old manager's position. They're going to continue to hire that open backfill position that I mentioned in the last video that they had. And then I think they're opening another one. So they're really expanding the team. Like when I started, it was 2 of us plus a manager. And now it's looking like it's going to be 4 people plus a team lead. So that's a lot. So it's really growing. There's definitely going to be a lot of changes. So I'm curious to see. Sorry if I'm trying to get stuff out of the fridge, and I feel like I'm not holding the camera very well. Anyway, so there's going to be a lot of changes, and I'm curious to see how all that happens. But for now, it's just the transition is really difficult and really stressful, because I feel like I don't know, I just feel like there's so much different stuff going on, and it's not exactly what I was hoping for my career for 2026, because it's really not what I needed. And I had plans on taking some courses outside of my job to help with my career and to grow and to learn, and they were stuff that I was going to pay out of pocket for, and things that I really needed to have time for. And now that all these changes are happening and I'm getting more stuff that I have to deal with, I decided to pull it off my plate, because I'm just too stressed, and I don't want to have that type of anxiety about paying over $1,000 for a course and not being able to really give like my full attention and mental capacity to it because of the state that I'm in. So this year is definitely going to be more of a stabilize systems year. That's kind of more of what's going on in detail and how I'm feeling about it. I really just want this week to be over because it's a big push for all these meetings and for me to get all my projects done. And once that's completed, I think I'm going to feel less stress and I think I'm going to feel more stable about everything. The one thing that is changing that I'm really excited about, and I made sure that my director and the new manager knew, was that they want us to be involved in the hiring process, and that is something I'm excited about because I had mentioned that before, but it didn't happen because I was too new or something. So we get to do peer interviews, and I'm a big fan of that because I think that if you're doing the job, like, you probably know more about what it's like than your manager sometimes. So you know what skills you need. And so when I'm interviewing with a manager for a position, I want to know what skills you need. I want to know what the day-to-day looks like, and they might not know that. So I think that's a huge plus when it comes to interview processes that I really believe in, and I think has a lot of benefit for not only the team, because there's like a team culture. You want to make sure the person that your manager is hiring fits with you, and also because as someone that's interviewing, you want to make sure that you fit with those people and that you know what skills you need, what hard skills, what soft skills, what's your day-to-day look like. So I'm really excited for that. Also, you get to put it on your resume. So who doesn't want to add easy stuff to their resume? I know I sure do. All right, I have to grind my coffee and this is going to be loud, so please hold. Okay, so it's after 5. My workday is done. It was a really long day. I'm actually going to go stand in front of a window in the back room just to get some of this evening light. It's still cold. It got cold out again, so I don't necessarily want to go outside. So I'm just going to sit here by the window. Oh, we have some snow flurries, so it definitely got colder compared to the 54 degrees it was yesterday. Wonderful. Today was stressful. It was rough. There was a lot of meetings. There was a lot of work that I needed to do. The changes just keep on coming. And the way that this new team that I'm on operates is very different from what I'm used to. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a little bit more administration heavy about how much work you do. It's a very just different style than what I'm used to. Maybe once I get some of these bigger projects out of the way and the change and kind of like the shock of the change ends and a week or so goes by, maybe I'll feel different about it. I think it's just a lot all at once and I'm feeling overwhelmed by how different it is. And so again, very much feels like I'm starting a whole brand new job, even though I've been doing the same job, same title, same pay for a year. It's just weird. It's a really weird situation to be in, and I am not really enjoying it. Again, it's probably just because I'm not in the season of life where I want to be taking on something like this right now because of other things that are going on in my personal life and just the craziness of last year and even just everything that I dealt with. I think that might be affecting how I feel about it. I'm hoping that I feel less stressed and can find a way to make myself feel more open to what's happening, because I'm just struggling with it. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really hard. So, fingers crossed that things get better and I can wrap my head around everything and find a way to see the positive and just feel better about what's happening. I do have to go in the office tomorrow, so I have to go to bed early. I'm probably going to take it easy today because mentally I'm just completely drained, and I literally sat at my desk all day. So I'm feeling a little bit of sciatica pain from sitting so long. I didn't get to take a lot of my breaks today like I normally do. This is gonna probably be the last time I chat with you in this video. And if you're wondering why I keep looking out the window, it's because I'm very distracted by all the happenings going on outside in the backyard.